Hey, what's up? Hey, everybody. I wanted to look at this video about Ludwig and see what's going on with this drama. Like, I've been completely busy for these past couple days just trying to figure out how to move, where I'm going to be located, and trying to figure out how I'm going to move all my stuff. But I realized that there was some drama brewing in the background concerning this, and concerning this guy and his friend. Yeah, so let's see what's happening.
Series so smart, Harvard added it to the curriculum. In today's video, Ludwig is in massive trouble. Tectone has just revealed some old tweets that absolutely expose Ludwig. Asmongold has responded. Lots of updates to the Emiru situation where people were harassing her for saying stealing content is wrong. One of those people has been exposed as a Hassan moderator and a degenerate freak.
Fuck. Of course, it's always a fucking Hassan lover.
Bunch of more updates involving Ethan, Hassan, Taylor Lorenz, the hack journalist, and a lot more. Subscribe to join the greatest channel on planet Earth, maybe even Jupiter. I haven't asked the aliens. But let's begin with the king of all jellyfish, the king of all spineless creatures, Ludwig. So quick recap for the newcomers. Basically, if you didn't know, Mr. Jellyfish actually hosted an event called Beerio Kart, and the whole concept was you get drunk and you play Mario Kart. Only problem is he invited one of his good friends, Mango, who is a known alcoholic. So what did
What the fuck are you doing? You don't invite your friends who have a drinking problem to a place where there's alcohol. Bro, if your friend has a drinking problem, you don't bring them where we're going to be drinking. One that's bringing them into a situation where they get shit-faced and end up embarrassing themselves or embarrassing you or just like making everything go bad. Listen, I have a friend. He used to drink all the fucking time. So like we had a rule that like we would not go places where he can drink. He would bring his own alcohol. We would be mad at him and stuff like that. We ended up not hanging out with him for a little bit. He ended up going to rehab, getting himself together, and now he doesn't drink anymore. You do not fucking bring your alcoholic friend to places where they drink because it's like you're condoning their bad habits. What? Why would you bring your friend, an alcoholic, there for them to embarrass themselves? What the fuck? Do you even care about your friend at all? Do you even want to see your friend get better? Or did you was like, oh, dude, he's going to be fucking wild. He's going to drink and then he's going to fucking do some crazy stuff and I'm going to get loads and loads of fucking views. Bro, like, and like it might seem like I'm just making stuff up, but people actually think like this.
Good guy Ludwig do? He encouraged him to drink.
Mango just blew up 132!
You encouraged him? So if he ended up acting like a piece of shit, this is all your fault. So if he ended up acting like a piece of shit, you encouraged this bad behavior. What the fuck is wrong with him? Who is...
Let's up those numbers!
0.30 and above, this is where Mango was at. High risk of alcohol poisoning, coma, and death.
Like, what are you doing? What are you even fucking doing? This is your friend. Somebody you supposedly care about. You want them to sit there and drink for your fucking entertainment? Get fucking shit-faced? Do some embarrassing shit that's gonna embarrass him and you? Then everyone's gonna be looking like him, like he's an asshole. If you're getting blamed for this, you fucking deserve this.
He's the two-time champion. He's never lost.
Bro, she said it. Isn't that just enabling him? She said it right there. Oh man, but yeah, bro, he's the two-time champion. He's never lost.
I feel zero guilt. I don't feel guilty at all. My dad had a serious problem with alcohol, and his rock bottom was death. He died.
Oh, so you learned literally fucking nothing. My grandmother was a fucking alcoholic. I didn't like it. My friend was a fucking alcoholic. I've learned nothing. You know what I learned from watching my grandmother like drink beer and shit all day? Never to drink beer. I'm be honest with you. I don't drink beer. I don't drink it at all. The only time I drink is probably on a fucking special occasion, which is probably party, graduations, bar mitzvahs, whatever you say, anything we're celebrating, maybe get a wine cooler. Yeah, I know bitch drink, right? But like maybe get like some soft liquor or something like that. Cause I'm not a drinker, and usually when I drink, I can feel that shit. So I know I'm a lightweight. I know I can't handle that shit. So I'm not going to fucking drink. Even at my worst, when I was very depressed, I would never drink. I would just be fucking depressed. I'm not going to use those things, and I can't speak for everybody. I know everyone deals with grief and everything in their own way, but like drinking is just different for me. I'm just not a drinker. Like my friend, like I mentioned before, my friend was going through some hard times, and he ended up drinking. And that kind of like put a wedge within our friendship, because he would show up drunk, he would smell like beer, and we would talk to him, and I'd say, hey bro, you got to get into AA, and you got to get into grief counseling. You know, I know you deal with it your own way, but yo, your kids are watching you and everything, right? Like what the, like, and he's talking about, I feel no guilt, or of course not. I bet you fucking don't. You literally learned nothing from this.
At 43 years old, excuse me.
Mango went around humping pillows and then he was like harassing a few girl streamers as well. It was really crazy.
Yeah, and
banned him from future.
And this is completely his fucking fault. He let his friend drink to the point where his friend was acting like an asshole. And then I guess he just threw him under the bus. I'm assuming that he threw him under the bus.
Events, he lost his 11-year org, he lost his career, basically life ruined. Meanwhile, Ludwig here got off scot-free. Alrighty, so since then we have a lot of updates. It seems that a lot of people pointed out how bad what Ludwig did was, and the internet has absolutely turned on him. One of the people that called him out was streamer Tectone. In fact, he made another follow-up video.
What'd he say? What Techie say?
Very damning information about Ludwig. Meanwhile, Ludwig has just been ignoring everything and playing League of Legends with CDogVA. But he did happen to say this about Tectone. Ludwig throws shots at Tectone after Tectone made some videos about the Mango situation.
Enable game chat. It's actually one of my greatest pleasures that I get to die never having to speak to these people.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
It's like a Tectone video. I can die never watching one.
So true.
It's a good life. It's a good life that I get to have.
A really healthy life.
It is. It is.
Oh right, so that was a pretty random comment until you realized that this was right after Tectone made his video calling out Ludwig. So instead of addressing any of the points he made or taking any accountability for what he did to Mango, he just implied that, you know, Tectone is lame and nobody should watch him, I guess. And I just find it hilarious how he's saying,
he's
you know,
lame, guys. Why are you watching
here, while playing League
he's lame, guys. Why are you watching Tectone? Oh, what? He called out my shitty behavior for being a shitty friend? Yeah, fuck him. I don't feel guilty. No, guys, let's play League. Let's play Leona. Let's play a really fucking bad Leona in bot lane, bro. Let's do it. Like, no fucking responsibility whatsoever. What a piece of shit.
of Legends, literally the most miserable gaming experience in existence. But okay, anyways, Tectone has responded with a new video clarifying some of his stances about the situation and going over Ludwig's old tweets.
A lot of you guys say Ludwig is not responsible for someone else's—
But he is. You listen. You don't bring a drinker to a fucking party where there is going to be drinking. That will just encourage them to fucking drink. He is responsible. For anyone who's like, oh, he's not responsible. Dude is responsible for his own actions. He did that idiotic shit on his own. Yeah, the dude just supplied him the beer. That's all he did, right? Wouldn't you say supplying him the beer enabled him to fucking do that fucking humping in people's faces like that? Like, what the fuck? He enabled this shit. He caused this to happen. There's a cause and there's an effect. The cause was he gave him the beer. The effect was guy went around acting like an asshole.
His actions in his event. This is a good counter argument that a lot of people say. Some people might say no, some people might say yes. Do you know who would disagree with that very take? Do you know who would disagree that you are not responsible for someone else's actions? Ludwig himself. And this is why we're talking about this here today.
Oh,
the only person responsible for someone's actions is the someone that did the action. If little Timmy sees a video of a guy eating a load of Takis and faking domestic violence and then eats a load of Takis and slaps his crush, Timmy is responsible, not the other guy. I just said your argument is weak. Fight someone else in the comments. How is it weak, bro? Nobody is responsible for what random idiots do but the idiot that did it. The fact that you seem to think that you have this much pull and control over randos that roll up to his stream says more about ego than anything else, to which Ludwig responded, I think there's a lot of good arguments for not having responsibility. I just specifically think mentioning a 1 in 100,000 extreme case as proof of why that should be the case is weak. Weak argument equals weak stance. It's not weak, it's true.
Tech went to fucking history. Yo was like, okay, let's look at this man being a hypocrite. Oh, let's fast forward 2 years into the future.
You aren't responsible for
I can see the future
unless you specifically say, hey, go do unshit in my name.
Right, so just clarifying the context there, just so nobody thinks this is out of context. Basically, Willie Mac Show made this tweet, you are not responsible for your audience unless you directly tell them to do something. They are their own people. If you have 100,000 viewers, statistically speaking, one of them is going to be unhinged. And he was responding to something by iDubbbz. And Ludwig responds, the argument that statistically 1 out of 100,000 people will be unhinged, so you bear no responsibility on the other 99999 is incredibly weak. And then we had the series of tweets that Tectone read. Right, so just to clarify what is going on here, Ludwig is arguing—
Yeah, but by that stance, you have to hold him accountable. Listen, okay? There exists a good amount of people that you will meet in your lifetime, right? These will be your best friends. You've known these fuckers for years, right? They have to be able to call you out. They have to be able to talk shit to you and you can't get mad, call you out, and you guys can still be friends because they've known you forever. The friends that I have today outside of YouTube and outside of Discord, those are my brothers. We've no longer friends, we are brothers. They can call me whenever I do something wrong. They can tell me whenever I do something wrong, and I have to sit there and I listen and I take their feedback. Now, whether I choose to take their advice is up to me. Right? But those are genuine friends. They will literally warn me when something bad is about to happen or steer me away from making a fool out of myself. That is what real friends do. I cannot call Ludwig a real friend to this guy. And the reason why I can't call him a real friend, and people might get mad at me, is that he's already set this dude up for failure by bringing him to a place. Listen, if I know my friend is alcoholic, I have to keep you away from alcohol. It's not even about it. Like, I have to, because it's protecting you from yourself. That's what you have to do in some cases. Like, listen, I don't care. Monitor the fucker. Hey, all right, we said 1 beer. That's it. No more drinking or something. Like, do something like that. Don't fucking encourage it. And then when he goes and acts like an asshole, you take no responsibility. And the guy gets shit canned. I heard he lost his career. That's what he said in the video. I don't know what the fuck he did, but obviously he was he had some notoriety. What the fuck?
With somebody.
And niggas was letting this slide? What? People was just like was going to let him fly under radar with this shit? And I'm being loud because this shit is this is crazy. He was literally going under the radar.
trying to assert that a streamer is partly responsible for the actions of their chat, even though the chat is obviously different people. So I just find it interesting. Ludwig says, oh, Mango is a full-grown man. He should have known better. He is responsible for his own actions. Meanwhile, Ludwig also seems to think that other people do have a degree of accountability. And the thing is, I actually somewhat agree with Ludwig. Now, are you responsible for every person watching you? Of course not. Right now, there's like 500,000 people watching my videos every single day at this point, and I can't control that many people. So instead, I try to set some standards for my community. I always say never harass the people I talk about. Always leave it to this comment section. And then I also try to embody the values I want you guys to have. Whenever I talk about someone, I try to provide evidence for all of my arguments, so you don't just randomly go and slander people like Hassan does.
Yeah, and that's the best way to fucking do it, so you can have some stuff to back up what you say.
And if I ever make any mistakes, I will try and own up to it. And in that way, I take some level of responsibility, unlike, you know, people like Hassan who lets his chat spam hearts for a literal shooter who murders people. And he can obviously permaban them, but he chooses not to because that shows what he believes in.
Not banned?
So Tectone continues his argument.
Why is he not banned?
Ludwig, you have actively fought people who said that you aren't responsible for someone else's actions. You believe that you are responsible for someone else's actions.
True.
By the way, this was in regards to chat policing. This was in place for community policing. Saying that a streamer is in control of their chat and a streamer is in control of their community, and they should dictate what that chat and community should do. So if you believe a streamer is in charge of their chat, randoms on the internet, why the f do you think you're not responsible for taking care of one of your best friends in a weakened state around alcohol that you know is his vice? A suffering alcoholic in a public on display format in front of hundreds of thousands of people.
Oh my god, I can feel the frustration coming from him here.
Because that's not a real friend, bro. If you are a real friend, you have to protect your niggas from falling into darkness, bro. Like some Kingdom Hearts shit. You gotta stop your mans from fucking drinking. Hey, bro, that's enough. I said you had enough. Even if you gotta take them outside. Like, what the fuck? This nigga is a bitch.
It is just insane that these guys were supposedly like super close friends, his ride or die. That is how Ludwig would refer to him. And with friends like
that's
Ludwig,
how I do my
who
dog, bro.
honestly needs enemies. Bro is so spineless, he immediately threw Mango under the bus, did not accept any accountability in what he did. You could have literally just said, okay, what Mango did was wrong, but also what I did was disgusting. I should not have invited an alcoholic to a drinking party. I should not have encouraged him to get more.
Take some type of fucking responsibility, but none. He feels like he doesn't need to, because everyone's already shitted on Mango.
More drunk on camera for the sake of views or entertainment for my stream. I should not have celebrated him literally drinking himself to the point of poisoning himself. But instead, what did Ludwig do? He wants to save his PR. Everything is about maintaining his audience. Oh, I'm such a good guy. I'm trying.
So like here's the thing, bro. You want to maintain your audience. Wouldn't it have been more better to be like, hey, bro, I'm responsible for what happened? Wouldn't you still get your audience too? Wouldn't people still stick around? Matter of fact, people would have respect for you because one, you took fucking responsibility for something that you caused, while also trying to get Mango some help. And like, you gotta be there for your friends. Am I just insane? Is that not how that's supposed to work? Where you like look after your friends?
To mathematically craft the most inoffensive take possible. That is literally how Hassan describes him, by the way. And he's not wrong about that one. Ludwig tries to appeal to the max amount of people possible so he can get the max amount of viewers and the max amount of people don't hate him and watch his content. Well, sucks for him, but he couldn't hide his true self forever, and this drama just brought it out. And while the chat argument is definitely a little bit different and there's a lot of nuance to it, in this case, it definitely applies. Ludwig is absolutely in part responsible for what happened to Mango that night.
Yes,
and
he
people
is.
brought this up in the comments as well. The fact that if a bar owner like overserves a guy drinking alcohol, they can be held like legally liable. If a bar overserves a customer, the bar can face several legal and financial consequences. This may include fines, loss of liquor license, and civil lawsuits from individuals harmed by an intoxicated patron. In some cases, bar employees or owners could even face criminal charges. So obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know the legal details, but it seems like Ludwig could have possibly been held legally liable because he's the guy who hosted the event. There's tons of clips of him saying, "Let's get those numbers up," which is like so horrible, man.
What a piece
Anyways,
of
after
shit.
this, Tectone calls him out, saying that this isn't just petty drama.
Ludwig, if you had a fucking spine, you would understand that you fucked up bringing Mango into that situation.
Bro, this nigga always speak the truth, yo. I can't even deny him. I can't even deny it. Like, this nigga always speaking the truth. You can't even deny it.
Because if you are going to say that a streamer is in charge of their chat, yes, the streamer host should be fucking taking care of the people in their community.
True.
This isn't drama, Ludwig. This is you putting streamers' lives at risk for content.
True.
He blacked the fuck out. Even his tweets show he has no idea what the fuck happened. He doesn't even remember the night's events. He doesn't even remember doing anything. He was that fucked up. And you encouraged that. Now, some people are saying that he got to a .37 later in the party. I cannot verify that.
Okay, so again, I have no idea who actually said that, who messaged him privately or whatever. So I'm just gonna ignore that because, you know, .32 is already bad enough. It doesn't change the fact that the levels of alcohol were already way too high.
Look at that shit, bro. You can like even see it in his movement. Yo is fucked. He is gone.
Most people understand that this is way beyond drama. This is not something which you can just ignore, which is Ludwig's go-to strategy, by the way. Now, if you guys have been following the series, the last time I called out Ludwig, he was defending iDubbbz and Anissa for essentially taking 34% of the profits of the Creator Clash charity event. And essentially, people were calling out iDubbbz and Anissa for taking money from charity. And he said, I don't care about the Mr. Beast guy or the more Pegasus guy.
Okay. This is where I'm gonna stop, okay? Because I don't want to play this whole video. As you can see, this guy's a piece of shit. Like, completely brought his friend in a situation where his friend messed up bad and he wants to take no fucking responsibility. What a fucking, I hate to say it, like I don't even like speaking bad about this dude, right? But like, from what I've seen, this dude is fucking garbage, man. That's fucking terrible. You bring your friend into a fucking situation of drinking and you just let him drink, and then he makes a fucking fool of himself and you leave him alone to fight a war, a battle he can't win, and then you sneak under the radar. What a fucking coward. And then when people are calling on you to take some type of responsibility, you put him in this shit. Oh, you just try to be a fucking weasel and go, oh, well, you know, imagine not being able to watch a Tectone video. What a fucking idiot. All right, bro, you embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed yourself.